First, at noon, President Trump is ordering a new disclosure of information related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. This comes as pressure has been mounting for a full disclosure from the government. Erica Brown has the latest from Capitol Hill.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
As pressure builds for the Trump administration to disclose more information related to the Jeffrey Epstein case, President Trump has ordered Attorney General Pam Bondi to release pertinent grand jury records, which Bondi says she will request. The president also pushed back on a Wall Street Journal report alleging Trump wrote a birthday note to Epstein in 2003 that included a hand-drawn sketch appearing to show the outline of a nude woman. The Journal reports the letter ends saying, "Happy birthday and may every day be another wonderful secret." Trump called the letter fake, writing on social media, "These are not my words, not the way I talk," and he's threatening to sue the paper and its owner, Rupert Murdoch. The move follows weeks of scrutiny, much of it coming from the president's own supporters.
The sad part is it's people that are really doing the Democrats' work. They're stupid people.
Stephen Taylor, a Trump supporter from Western Pennsylvania, says the president's base is demanding what the president promised.
We put you in office. You ran on this platform. You offered it. We didn't ask for it. And now we want it. We demand it. You know what I mean? People need. There needs to be accountability. There needs to be justice.
Republicans on Capitol Hill are pushing for more transparency from the Trump administration on the Epstein files, advancing a resolution out of a House committee calling for the Justice Department to release more information about the case.
Every single one of the Republicans on the Rules Committee are for transparency and for releasing the files, just as the President of the United States is, and they wanted that to make it crystal clear.
We obviously want the files released. We want every name that's on there to be held accountable.
Democrats voted against a resolution because it's non-binding. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Meanwhile, PBS Hawaii is responding to the more than $1 billion in cuts to public broadcasting just passed by Congress. In a statement, CEO Ron Mizutani says they remain committed to serving the people of Hawaii with trusted, independent public media, no matter the challenge. He says they have been preparing for this possibility for more than 2 years and have a strategic plan to diversify funding, modernize operations, and building long-term sustainability. A federal grand jury has charged 2 Honolulu residents for scamming FEMA out of $60,000 in disaster relief funds for the Lahaina wildfires and the Los Angeles wildfires back in January. The 7-count indictment says 34-year-old Daylin Harris and 32-year-old Chelsea Johnson submitted false claims that they suffered income, housing, and property losses in both disasters when neither of them lived in either area or suffered any losses. If convicted, the defendants face up to 30 years in prison and a fine of up to $1 million for each of the 7 counts. A Kahaluu family is calling for justice after a deadly hit-and-run crash. Back on June 25th, Andrew Brown was walking home in the early morning hours along Kahikili Highway, north of Aha'olelo Road. Sadly, he never made it home as he was fatally struck by a vehicle. The driver did not stop to help and has still not been arrested. Brown's family believes whoever hit him had been drinking.
I just want justice served for my brother and my mom. You know, it's been an ongoing process for us, and it's very, very painful to have to witness this kind of accident. You know, my brother was innocent. He didn't deserve to die this way.
The Brown family is organizing a sign waving and rally this weekend. It'll be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon at the crash site near the hygienic store and 7-Eleven. They will wear red to show unity in the fight against impaired and reckless driving. Caught on camera, this is surveillance video of a break-in in Waialua at around 3:45 Wednesday morning. The masked burglars, armed with a long gun, ransacked an auto mechanic's lot. And the crooks took $20,000 worth of tools and other items, and they got away in this bright pink food truck. It belongs to Uncle Lonnie's Poi Mochi business. The owner says they've heard it was spotted in Haleiwa and Waianae. She's hoping for the return of the truck, but she doesn't want people confronting the thieves because they were armed.
We're okay. So with everyone that's reached out to us and everyone that's DM'd, text us, messages, all the good stuff, we're good, we're okay, there's insurance. But what my concern is that just be careful, because anytime that you have like a stolen vehicle, my biggest concern is that no one gets hurt.
The property owner says this is the 6th time in the last year and a half that thieves targeted his property. Any tips, please call Crime Stoppers at 955-8300. Maui County has begun clearing a homeless encampment of about 50 people in Kahului. After the county put up official notices last week, we're told only 8 people were still at Amala Place yesterday morning. They eventually left, and some say the county should have waited until it opened a managed parking lot this summer where homeless people can sleep in their cars.
We don't understand why they couldn't just wait until at least that safe parking lot was up and running before asking people to leave when there's nowhere else to go.
For us to say we'll just keep waiting but continue to leave our unsheltered, in a very narrow area is not appropriate.
Some homeless people went into shelters, but others are just moving down the road and said they will come right back. The Navy is getting public comment on a draft environmental impact statement to keep using state lands for the Pacific Missile Range facility on Kauai. The last of 3 public meetings was held last night. Ben Gutierrez has the details.
The Navy and NASA's agreements to use state lands on Kauai will expire between 2027 and 2030. And like the Army and lease renewals for its bases, the Navy will have to get an EIS approved by the Board of Land and Natural Resources. The Pacific Missile Range facility sits on more than 8,000 acres of state land at Barking Sands in West Kauai. The Navy paid just $1 to the state in the 1960s for it and says it's the world's largest instrumental training and testing facility used for air and space operations. Meantime, NASA has leased 23 acres in Kokee for an observatory to study the Earth's rotation.
So under Alternative 1, the Navy and NASA would apply to the Board of Land and Natural Resources for new long-term real estate agreements at fair market value for a similar duration and for the same uses as the current leases and easements.
The Navy says facility operations only take up 410 acres. Most of the remaining land is undeveloped.
The purpose of keeping these lands agriculture for the Navy is for an encroachment buffer and safety zones from the Barking Sands installation.
And the PMRF has been, a really good partner in preserving the open space and the agricultural use of the land around the facility.
Navy officials also say the missile range facility bolsters the West Kauai economy with jobs, most of which are civilian. The head of the Kekaha Agriculture Association also says it has helped in relief efforts on the Garden Isle.
So that was the 4th grade when Hurricane hit, and one of the principal sources of relief and support for the community came through the PMRF.
Some area residents want to use the beaches and coastline around the base.
I want to see you guys give more access to the fisher gatherers, hunter gatherers, more access.
And several Native Hawaiians and their supporters want the Navy to leave.
We are told this base helps protect national security and supports the local economy. That's deception. Whose security? Whose economy?
I'm also an extension of your stewardship over that item. But yes, please, yes, take your kuleana and fix it by cleaning your mess up. Above and below.
The public meetings are over, but written testimony is still being accepted until August 7th. We have links on how to submit that testimony on our website. The Navy plans to have a final EIS ready by next spring. Ben Gutierrez, Hawaii News Now.
How's it on this Aloha Friday? Fairly dry conditions across the state, but look for increasing showers tonight through Sunday. We could even get some heavy rain starting tomorrow as well, mainly for windward sides. Leeward sides aren't picking up a whole lot of rain. Now, the winds are going to be slowing down today, picking up speed tomorrow, and that'll help limit the rainfall buildup, but still, it's going to be a fairly dry day today. More showers due in over the weekend. We could even see some isolated thunderstorms tomorrow and Sunday.
Thank you, Guy. 15 million people across the country are under flood alerts. Along the Gulf Coast, heavy rain is expected to continue today and tomorrow, and many communities are doing everything they can to keep the flood waters out. Katie Weiss reports from Louisiana.
Torrential downpours slamming into southern Louisiana dumped up to a half foot of rain, blinding drivers and sending floodwater into roads. Lightning also lit up the sky over New Orleans as the storm system moved onshore Thursday. In Morgan City, Louisiana, these pump stations are the best protection from flash flooding. Mayor Lee Dragna says they work hard to push rainwater back under levee walls and into the Atchafalaya River.
If this isn't working properly, what happens?
People flood, businesses flood. Happens, we're going to avoid that.
The mayor says the pump stations are aging and need to be watched 24/7. If they break down in a storm like this, it only takes 20 minutes for water to overflow and flood the city.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about what's coming now.
Near New Orleans, people have been filling sandbags to protect their homes and their neighbors.
Making sure that my neighbors are okay, because a lot of the elderly don't have cars. They can't get out here to get sandbags.
Crews there have been clearing catch basins and draining canals to prepare for flooding.
I think that we all need to be prepared during hurricane season, and this is part of it.
And in Morgan City, across the river here, those pump stations could be further stressed by more rain on the way. The mayor says that those pump stations right now can only pump out about half the capacity they'd normally be able to if they were in top shape. Katie Weiss, CBS News, Berwick, Louisiana.
Waves along Poka'i Bay once again unearth huge petroglyphs. Where and exactly how you can see them.
The end of an era in late night. CBS ends The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and the long-running franchise. I'm Jared Hill with why the network says it's making the massive move.
A fascinating development in leeward Oahu as shifting sands have revealed ancient Hawaiian petroglyphs at Pokai Bay. It's been nearly a decade since the rock carvings made their last appearance. Mahilani Richardson found people heading there to see the remarkable sight.
There is one big petroglyph with a little petroglyph right on top of it. The makua holding the keiki on his shoulders and kiloing, just observing the area, just playing in the area. Mahalo e na pua.
Nani Peterson has lived on the Waianae coast her entire life and has never seen these petroglyphs at Pokai Bay until today.
They're still here. You know, that's the first thing that I can think of is our kopuna is definitely still here.
These ki'ipohaku at the Shoreline Sandstone are fronting Cabin 11 at the Pilila'au Army Recreation Center. The biggest one is more than 3 feet tall.
These beautiful, beautiful images that they've laid for us to understand. And it's time we understand.
The huge petroglyphs were exposed over the weekend, and cultural experts believe they're more than 1,000 years old. Now, they were first discovered in 2016, and locals here say they haven't been seen in years.
You just never expect anything like that to be discovered in especially our shoreline. I really didn't even know that that was possible.
So we have a cultural resources team that works in Army Garrison to protect and preserve artifacts such as these petroglyphs. Littoral shifts that move the sand and sediment off of these petroglyphs happened over the weekends.
An Army report cataloged 26 petroglyphs spanning about 131 feet of beach. 8 of the figures in the beach rock appear to be male. Experts say the wave-deposited sand and algae suggest that unrecorded petroglyphs may still exist.
They tend to tell the mo'olelo or a story of the place. We're just guessing that this one was more than likely for agriculture.
We're told the best time to see the ki'ipohaku is during low tide. When the sand will cover them again is a mystery.
And the Army says visitors can walk to the beach site but must show a military ID to park at the camp.
Reporting from Pokai Bay, Mahilani Richardson, Hawaii News Now.
A stunning announcement in late-night television. CBS announced it's ending The Late Show with Stephen Colbert after nearly a decade on the air. The company says the decision is financial and not related to the show's content. Jared Hill has the details.
Before we start the show, I want to let you know.
An end of an era in the world of late night.
Next year will be our last season. The network will be ending The Late Show in May.
Thursday, Stephen Colbert broke the news that CBS would be ending his show and turning off the lights on the 3-decade-long Late Show franchise.
Yeah, I share your feelings. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Senator Adam Schiff.
After his appearance on last night's show, Senator Adam Schiff questioned the move. Quote, if Paramount and CBS ended The Late Show for political reasons, the public deserves to know. In a statement, CBS praised Colbert, calling it a purely financial decision, not related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. Stephen Colbert has been an outspoken critic of President Trump and recently criticized a decision by CBS parent company Paramount to settle a lawsuit with Mr. Trump, a suit the company has maintained is without merit. Paramount is also aiming to finalize a merger with Skydance Media, which needs FCC approval. Reaction poured in from fellow talk show hosts.
I think it's a huge loss for late night, and I think it's a huge loss for CBS.
And fans.
We love Stephen Colbert. We came to New York and we came to the show last night. Sorry to hear it's going to be canceled.
Colbert's Late Show started in 2015, taking over for originator David Letterman, who started the show in 1993. Jared Hill, CBS News, New York.
Let's take a live look outside with our tower cam on this Aloha Friday. Guys, gonna have your full forecast when we come back.
Now, First Alert Weather with Guy Huggy.
Happy Aloha Friday. We're 48 days into hurricane season, still very quiet in the East Pacific and here at home in the Central Pacific. However, we are expecting increasing rain, a disturbance due in tonight, tomorrow, and on Sunday. We could see some heavy rainfall for windward areas, maybe even some isolated thunderstorms tonight through Sunday. So heads up on that. Mainly windward sides, leeward sides, not expecting a whole lot. Not much rain this morning, except for some showers over on East Maui. Now, these winds will run a little slower today. They'll pick up speed again tomorrow, but because we'll have a trade wind breeze tomorrow with the rainfall, that should help limit the rainfall buildups. But again, we could see some heavy rainfall, so heads up on that. Be prepared for that. But for today, not so much, right? It should be fairly dry today, and again, increasing showers tonight, mainly for those windward and Mauka neighborhoods. Now, as far as the surface, should be relatively small today. However, tomorrow we've got a nice little pulse expected in on the South Shore. Not big at all, but a little pulse, more energy due into South Shores. Also swimming in today for the next couple days, box jellyfish for South and Southwest shores. So we're going to have a pretty nice day today. But again, look for more showers and more clouds for those windward and Mauka areas mainly. We're not expecting a lot of rain for leeward sides. And with those winds running breezy tomorrow, that should help limit the rainfall buildups. We could see higher rainfall totals on Sunday when the winds back off. But late Sunday into Monday, a drier weather pattern takes over. And with those breezy winds, we could see fire conditions develop, especially by the middle of next week.
Thank you, Guy. When it comes to fitness, how you move may depend on who you are. Tina Kraus explains.
It turns out mindset might matter more than muscles when it comes to sticking with a workout.
There's a pattern here that we're seeing with extroverts being really attracted to high-intensity sessions.
Dr. Flaminia Ronca with University College London says personality plays a powerful role in how and whether we exercise.
The way our brain is wired determines how we behave.
She and her team put more than 100 volunteers through the paces at their lab, tracking how personality affected their approach to fitness, looking at 5 traits, including extroversion, agreeableness, conscientiousness, neuroticism, and openness.
People who are quite conscientious had a very well-rounded fitness. They don't skip leg day. You know, they do everything that they're supposed to do because they know they have to do it. Whereas the extroverts were incredibly fit on the endurance side, but they didn't score that well on strength because they just did what they enjoyed. They're drawn to what stimulates them.
Because I'm an extrovert, I like to test myself.
So your sunshine. Neil Turner took part in the study and says understanding his own personality has changed how he trains.
I'm never going to be the fastest up a mountain, and I'm definitely not going to be the prettiest, but I can achieve my own personal goals.
Dr. Ronca says it's important to note personality traits can overlap.
So I could be very neurotic, but also very conscientious. And so I'm more likely to engage in exercise because I know it's good for me, and so I'm going to make sure I keep doing it.
A reminder that fitness is a personal path, and tapping into your personality could help chart a course that sticks. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
Still to come, the stars of Jason Momoa's historical drama series, Chief of War, are getting ready to hit the red carpet tonight. That's coming up in today's Good News Now. some good news now. We knew it was going to get there, but it was just a matter of when for our Hawaii-inspired movie, Lilo and Stitch. The Disney live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch is the first Hollywood release in 2025 that has hit the $1 billion mark. It's taken the movie 8 weekends to get there. Disney originally thought Lilo and Stitch would be a straight-to-streaming release, but releasing the right property at the right time has definitely paid off. Moana 2 was also developed as a TV show, but also brought in over $1 billion last Thanksgiving. Lilo and Stitch has already gotten a green light for a sequel from the House of Mouse.
This island, this is your home. This land will hold you.
It looks so good. So coming up tonight, Apple will roll out the red carpet for the Hawaii premiere of Chief of War, Jason Momoa's new historical drama series that will start streaming on August 1st. Tonight's premiere is when the cast, their loved ones, and media will get to see the final product about the unification of the Hawaiian Islands. Billy V will be bringing us live reports from the red carpet starting tonight on First at 4. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy Aloha Friday. See you at First at 4 right here on KHNL.